Mickey Talks.
Episode 48, Matt. It's Mickey Talks, brought to us by Barnes Paving. Barnes Paving, amazing people. BARNES paving.com. BarnesPaving.com, or give them a call at 443-243-3710. Listen, Barnes Paving can meet all your paving and asphalt needs. They deliver the best service at the lowest prices. And right now, when you mention Mickey Talks, you'll get 10% off at Barnes Paving. They can do commercial paving, residential paving, anything you need, Barnes Paving can do. Matt, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. We got an excellent guest coming up today that I'm fascinated with.
Yeah.
Yeah. His name is Evan Woodard.
Yep. He is a historian. And what was the other word?
Historian, also an explorer.
I didn't want to mess it up.
I don't know if he would call himself an archaeologist. I don't think he does. Yeah. I would call him that because he's finding some really cool stuff here in our hometown of Baltimore.
I'll be the judge of that when we talk to him. I'll tell him what he is. I'm kidding. I can't wait to talk to him. I mean, just talking to him before we started the show.
Yeah.
A little bit of stories he did tell. I'm like, I can't wait.
He's a magnet fisherman too. So yeah. I think he has a group. We got to talk to him more about what he's doing with the magnet fishing, but he's pulling stuff out of the Baltimore Inner Harbor.
I love it. Yeah. By the way, I don't know if you saw a new report yesterday or today that the otters have come back big time in the harbor.
Oh, is that right?
And our water levels are like good in the harbor.
I heard that the what do you call it? The shellfish, the
whatever
population
crabs
is coming back. Not crabs. What am I looking for here? Oysters. The oyster population, which clean the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, once you stop dumping chemical waste in it,
that helps.
Earth has a way of fixing itself. You know what I mean? All right, Matt, let's get right into it. And that's the facts, Matt, brought to us by Barnes Paving. Incredible people. Let's find out. That's our version of the news. Now it's time for Matt, and that's the facts. Matt, what do we got?
So Diddy trial day 10 happened here, and this time it was with a woman named Capricorn Clark on the stand. She was.
I wonder if it says that on her birth certificate. I just always wondered.
I think it's a real name.
Wow, Capricorn.
Yeah. She was Diddy's assistant at one time, and she corroborated testimony by Cassie Ventura and Kid Cudi, who Diddy threatened to kill for dating Cassie. Capricorn said that Diddy arrived at her home around 6 a.m. He brandished a gun and asked why Capricorn had not told him about Cassie hooking up with Kid Cudi. Together, they went to Cudi's home, and Capricorn called Cassie to warn her of Diddy's threat. And then a few months later, she relayed the story to the president of Bad Boy Records, and she testified that he said not to worry about the incident. She said, I told him that Puff kidnapped me with a gun. It was going to kill Cudi.
Yeah, don't worry. No big deal. Happens to the best of us.
No reason for alarm here.
Yeah, nothing to see. A bunch of looky-loos. Move along.
Yeah, what are you going to call HR?
Yeah. It's terrible, though. I mean, when you really start to hear the way this man treated human beings.
Oh, it's awful.
It's really disgusting, man.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is Diddy's doing, or is this bigger than Diddy? Is it like a...
I think the people that controlled Diddy are bigger than him. I don't think, I mean, maybe one or two above him were into that stuff. I think that they just...
I mean, is it like an Epstein type thing you think's going on? They blackmailing people and keeping tapes and stuff?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. I also think that he's like, he's like the devil's top demon.
Yeah.
That's what I always assumed Diddy was. I mean, there's people above Diddy that are just evil in a way you and I could not imagine.
Front.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is an evil guy, but I think when all that money and power and sex and fame and anything you want is presented to you, it's, you're king for your life. And it's hard to walk away from that. And I just think that it's terrible, man. It's really, like, we make jokes about it and we laugh and we go, oh, it's crazy. We love P. Diddy, Puffy, all that. And you think about it. It's just they're painted.
Oh, it's dark.
They're just evil clowns is all they are. I mean, it's pathetic.
Well, SpaceX launched another Starship. It disintegrated during a test flight.
I don't mean to laugh.
No, this is the 9th Starship test for the Starbase Texas yesterday, aiming to get closer to sending humans to Mars. So we got to get this right.
Yeah.
The rocket, the biggest ever built, took off at 7:37 p.m. with a reused super heavy booster. It reached space, but a fuel leak caused the upper stage to spin out of control and break apart over the Indian Ocean. Despite the failure, they're saying that the test gave useful data to improve future flights.
Yeah, that data, literally, I've read it today. It said, fix the fuel tank. That's what that data
Did they
brought
see
back.
the light flashing on
Yeah,
the dash?
what the hell's wrong with that pilot?
Yeah, jeez. Mick, I don't know if you saw the Brazilian nun who's going viral
For dancing?
for her beatbox blessing.
Dude, it was awesome.
Do you want to watch it?
Well, the funny thing is, like, the beatbox lady's great, right?
Yeah.
But wait until you see the nun next to her dancing. Go ahead, play that.
Here we go.
Vocação, oh, vocação.
Just get ready to break it down.
Dude, this is great. And the other one's beatboxing.
Rapaz, que é isso?
It's in Brazil.
Well, yeah.
But they're Catholic, right? Does it say?
Yeah. So they
This is incredible. That's all the Vatican needed was a dumb hillbilly American in there running it.
her name is Sister Marzell.
Sister Marzell,
Yeah,
you are God's angel on earth, my
Good
friend.
for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So Turkey is finding airplane passengers who stand up too early upon landing. I don't know how I feel about this. Some people are very happy.
Let me tell you something. I'd stop you right now.
Go ahead.
I don't even think people should be allowed to stand up till the lady on the plane goes, all right, first 10 rows, grab your stuff. Next fit. That's what happens.
All right, wait a minute. Clarify something for me.
Yeah.
Does this mean that plane lanes, right?
Yeah.
Plane lands,
Yeah.
rather, and your stuff is right above you.
Yes.
Right? So is it okay to get your stuff ready
No.
so that when they call you,
No.
you can just get right out?
No, that's
No?
the problem. Those aisles.
You know what? I'm the problem. then.
So this,
I'm
listen,
definitely the
no,
problem.
we all want to get off the
Yeah.
plane. What people are too dumb.
I thought I was doing it to be courteous, though.
No. So the best thing you can do is just sit there. And then if they did it right, okay, the flight attendant will come on the mic and be like, rows 1 through 10, you can please exit the plane. You stand up real quick, grab your shit, get off, right?
Yeah.
Rows 11 through 40 now may depart the plane. You get up, you get out. It's when everybody gets up, bags start moving, you got this much room.
All
It's
right,
stupid.
hear me out.
All right.
Got a bunch of stuff above you. There's jackets. They're crammed in there. You
Yeah.
got bags. You got
I'm not
you
even
got-
for
wait, you
bringing
got
a bag
little-
on the
You
plane.
got a little kid with you.
Right.
Maybe there's an elderly person
Right.
with you. You got to like help them get their stuff
Sure.
down and get it situated.
Just wait your
You
turn and
rather
do that.
wait for that?
Yes. It's more room. That's what people don't get. Plus, there's a lot of people, by the way, they should start like this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying. We're now here at Baltimore. If you have no overhead baggage, you may feel free to exit the plane. Those with overhead baggage, 1 second, please. I didn't bring nothing. Why the hell do I got to sit there and wait?
All right. Well, look, maybe they got it right. Cabin crews will warn passengers to wait. Those who don't listen could face a fine of about 2,603 Turkish lira, which is about $67.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's about 42 cents.
The rule aims to make getting off planes smoother and fairer. So maybe I don't know.
You know, I'm going to sound horrible for saying this, but some of these like sort of very oppressive governments, you know, where they make laws and rules that you can't smoke, period. Like that's a law in some countries,
Sure.
Right? Like you say to yourself, man, that's harsh. But is it? Like everybody's healthy. It
Yeah.
never stinks. Like, and listen, I was a smoker
That's
forever.
part of freedom, though, man. It's
I
part of
no,
freedom.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be I would not be like, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong. Like say Maryland decided tomorrow, they're going to make a law where, you know, to get off the plane, everybody gets to leave the plane if you didn't have a bag. Like, is that oppressive? Like, am I infringing on someone's liberty by saying just let me get off the plane first. I don't have to get anything. Like I you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but you don't take a. See,
No,
my whole plan is to just take a carry-on bag.
My whole plan is to take nothing.
What do you do? Oh, you take nothing with you?
What do I need on the
I don't
plane?
know, a bathing suit, maybe?
On the plane? It's
Not on
in
the
my
plane.
baggage.
Oh.
It's in my checked bag.
Yeah, I don't want to check bags.
Well,
that's
that's
what I
the
don't
other
wanna
problem
do.
I have.
Yeah.
Like I don't get, and I lost my luggage. Like, okay, it happens, lady, but it's like 1 in 40,000.
Okay,
Maybe a little less. I don't know.
it's a little more.
I mean more. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me what you think of this, man.
I don't know if I'll ever fly again. By the way,
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of bad dreams about flying.
Really?
I'm not kidding you.
Oh my God.
You
Don't
might
tell
do
me
one.
this.
No, I'm serious. Like
I know.
but I've had a fear of flying since I was a kid.
Yeah.
The first time I had to go to LA for comedy, I had to go out to audition for MTV. I was shaking so bad.
Wow, dude. So we got planes and bridges now.
Yeah,
that
I
you
don't
can't
like
do.
I don't like being off Earth.
Yeah.
I like when my
Right.
feet are on Earth, I'm safe.
Yeah.
It's when my whole body is above Earth. Roller coasters, I'm above Earth.
Yeah.
I can go up a certain height, like the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th floor of a building. I can stomach. You start going higher, I can't look out the windows.
Yeah. You would hate that building out in Chicago. What is that? The where you can look at the observation
Oh
deck?
yeah, there's
What's
a couple.
big-
The one in Seattle's like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
The
right.
Needle and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus the Needle has a slanted glass wall.
Right.
You
yeah,
can
just-
lay on it
same
and
way in
look down.
Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, what planet are people on that they go, you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to lay on a piece of glass 4,000 feet in the air and stare down.
Gives you
No,
that-
send
gives you
a
that funny-
drone up. Take a picture. I'll look like that.
Gives you a funny feeling in your stomach, man. You
Yeah,
can't get
I
anywhere
literally,
else.
when I was in New York City a couple years ago, I was coerced and forced in a way, not forced, but coerced
Yeah.
to go up to the top of the Empire State Building. I walked out on the deck and my knees buckled. I hit the floor and I had to crawl. People were looking at me, and one lady came over and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Ma'am, no, I'm not." She's like, "I've seen this. Don't worry." She helped me get around. I walked back in and sat at the elevator on the floor to calm down. And then my friend, because they're very thoughtful, spent about 5 or 10 minutes on the balcony getting the full view as I stood there having a heart attack.
Right.
And then we went back down, and I hated every second
Tell
of it.
me this: can you do the nosebleed seats at the stadium?
I cannot go to a Ravens game in the upper deck.
Right.
I took my daughter, my niece, and my brother. The 4 of us went 2 or 3 years ago. We were in the second to last row,
Yeah.
and I had to stand in the hall. I had to go downstairs and stand in one of the tunnels
Yep.
and just watch. Luckily, I knew
Yeah.
the ticket
My
guy.
mom told me the story. She and my dad had
Yeah.
nosebleed seats for something. It was one of the
Yeah.
games, and she was literally climbing seat. To
I
seat,
did that.
And when she got up there, she got a round of applause from everybody.
Bro, when I got to my seat, this is no lie.
Yeah.
I sat down and I said to my kids, or I said to my daughter and my niece and my brother, I go, "Guys, I can't do this." They're like, "What's wrong?" They know about my height thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't think it would matter here, but I got to go. And I had to walk down the steps backwards. I couldn't look at it.
Yeah. I get it.
Eventually, I'm like, I had to walk backwards. It was bizarre.
I don't like heights either. I think I'm a little better than you, but I get it. I don't like heights either.
Hate it.
Tell me what you think of this. The athletic competition that is encouraging performance-enhancing drugs is coming to Vegas next year. Las Vegas is going to host the first enhanced games next May.
Wait a
A
minute.
sports event where athletes can use performance-enhancing drugs like steroids and growth hormones.
I am all in.
Earning it the nickname Olympics on steroids.
Hell yeah. I am all in. I said it for baseball. I said it for football. I'll say it for soccer. I'll say it for any sport in the world. Why not?
Because of people's health. That's
Who
obviously.
cares?
What do you mean,
We
who
let them
cares?
drink. We let all humans on earth drink.
Yeah.
Pot's legal, sugar's legal, everything's legal. But it's something that makes you better and stronger. We're all against.
I don't know. If you don't have like a doctor that understands that stuff looking
No,
after you,
of course.
you're in big trouble.
Yeah, but the same thing with duloxetine, any other medicine.
Duloxetine.
Yeah, I used to take that because I'm crazy.
Oh.
If I took 5 pills a day, I'm going to die. The doctor goes, "This is what you can take." So the doctor would say to his guys, "Listen,
Yeah.
you can take this much or whatever." I don't understand it. I really don't. If a man
Well,
wants
here-
to lose his penis, his
listen.
liver, and who the hell am I to argue with them?
Tell
You know
me-
how long ago
tell
I
me
wish
if-
I could get rid of this thing?
Tell me if
Save
this makes
so
any
many
sense
problems.
for me. So you either have you either have two teams that can't do steroids,
Right.
going head to head,
Right.
or you have two teams that are on steroids.
I like that better. It's faster, stronger,
But what I'm
bigger.
asking you is, what's the difference?
I'll tell you the difference. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, they hit harder.
I hear you.
And
But
what do you mean? It's
are
like,
you
why
gonna
do I
notice a
listen?
difference in the game, though?
I'm a 5'3" white guy. Basketball means nothing. I could never play
You
it.
think
Right?
you could play on steroids?
No.
Oh.
The point is this, though.
Yeah.
If I was the only guy on the highest level of steroids
Yeah.
and played a JV high school team, they would kill me. There is athletic ability required.
Dude, you would be 5'3" high, but
You know the worst part?
5'7" wide.
Listen, yeah, no doubt. You know the worst part about my height, and every time I say
What's
that
that?
about basketball,
Yeah.
somebody always goes, "What about Muggsy Bogues?" And I go, "Oh, son of a bitch. The one guy that could do it,
Right?
and he was a beast."
Yeah.
But like, I'll tell you right now, watching this Caitlin Clark Reese thing,
Yeah.
imagine if they're both juiced out of their brains.
It seems like they are, right? Or one
It's
of them is.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, this will be for the 50 and 100 meter freestyle and butterfly swimming, 100 meter sprint. I mean, just beasts.
Dude,
swimming in the
I
water,
don't
huh?
know why it's a big deal.
Then you got the hurdles and track. You got the snatch, clean, and jerk events and weightlifting. Now that kind of makes a little bit of
And
sense.
I
for
don't think they should be considered world records. I think they should be considered steroid world records. I think they're still
me.
honored.
No, I think they're listen. Unlike the Olympics, athletes get paid number one with
Yep.
up to $500,000 per event and $1 million bonuses for breaking world records.
I
It
gotta
sounds
look
like they're
into
going
these
for
steroids.
actual world records.
No, it will break world records.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is that I think, like, for instance, the average normal thinking person will go, okay, well, the strongest natural human that ever lived lifted 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
The strongest steroid taker guy that ever lived lifted 1,180
You think they're
pounds.
going to do that? I
Yeah.
hope they do.
Oh, of course they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I didn't have any problem with McGuire and Sosa, and they were hitting 70 home runs. It's good for the game. What the hell? I mean, granted, okay, you're taking some, Tiger Woods, I say this to
Well,
everybody,
he-
played all that golf on golf clubs that all the legends before him didn't get to play on. These guys are hitting 400-yard drives now.
Yeah, but dude, once you legalize this, it's going to get crazy. You know
Well,
that people are going to be juiced to the gill. I mean, just
I think just the athletes. I mean, steroids
Well, yeah.
are legal. You can take steroids.
what do you mean you can take steroids?
You under a doctor, like if I have
sure,
a breathing
sure.
problem,
yeah,
I can go get a
but they're
steroid.
not going to make you jacked.
No,
if you
but
lift
again,
weights.
I don't care if somebody
Right.
I'm a libertarian in that way.
Different steroids.
You think they should bar? You think they should bar marijuana?
No.
Makes you smarter.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I was told.
So would you watch robot fighting competitions? There's a Chinese company who
If they're beating up people, yeah. If they're
not-
beating up each
here,
other.
here, we can look at it here.
Wasn't that
actually.
Battle Bots? Did we already have that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
This is different. But
Okay, let's see it.
Take a look at this.
All right, what do we got? This is a show they're looking to do?
Can you see these guys?
Yeah.
So
Is that a boxing ring or a floor?
Yeah, so
So
they've got a
we saw
human
AI calculator.
referee, and it's two
used
robots
his
boxing.
kneecap
They're wearing headgear and
to
gloves.
give you a kick.
And at one
And
point,
you can
you'll
see
see one of
that
these guys get knocked
energy
down.
is very
Yeah,
stable.
see, look, he gets knocked down. Watch,
Wow.
watch him get back up. She gives him a count.
One,
She's counting right now.
2,
Look at
3,
this poor robot.
4, 5. So this is the knee kick.
That's
Fantastic.
crazy.
Yeah. To me, I'm into this for
Whoa,
about 30
this is-
seconds.
Yeah, me too.
And then
This is
if
the
these
near
guys were
miss,
like
and this
pulling
is-
each other's heads off.
Yeah.
A very quick
Yeah,
game,
exactly.
so
And
we
like
can play
drilling
that
through it,
again
blowing
later,
each
and,
other
That's
up.
what's coming.
That's what I
Yeah,
would
it's
watch.
going to be BattleBots
So-
human form.
Otherwise, you want to see people.
Did you ever see
Fight,
that movie
right?
with Schwarzenegger, Running Man?
No,
Oh, you never saw that?
I never did.
What? You saw it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
great
we're going to get to Evan in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's where we're heading. People are going to go through these games where you got to beat up robots, outsmart them. It's going to be nuts.
All right, I got one more for you. And then
Yeah,
we'll talk to our guest, Evan
Yeah.
Woodard, coming up.
Yeah.
Excited to talk to him. So there is a hiker. I don't know if you've heard about this challenge. It's called the 24 by 24 by 24 by 24 challenge. He took this challenge on the Pacific Crest Trail. You probably know one of the most disturbing things about social media now is like the never-ending challenges that come about.
Yeah.
This one, the 24X challenge, this is where a person makes the odd decision to take a 24-mile hike while drinking 24 beers and eating 24 hamburgers, all within a 24-hour period.
And his funeral will be in the 48-hour period. I can guarantee you that. So
this is what happened. Jordan Kelton recently decided to take on the challenge while hiking a portion of the Pacific Crest Trail. So it's not exactly clear what part of the trail he wandered on, but he did it armed with 24 cans of Coors Light and 24 McDonald's cheeseburgers. The challenge started at 9 p.m. when he downed 2 burgers and 2 beers. He went to sleep, woke up, and then downed another 2 beers before starting on his 24-mile journey at 6 a.m. That left him 15 hours to finish off 22 burgers and 20 more beers. And when 9 p.m. finally arrived, he had accomplished 2/3 of the challenge. So the hike was complete, and the beers were polished off, but only 15 of the burgers were consumed.
I think the only way you could really do that, I think the strategy would be, if I had to think, you would have to drink 1 burger and drink 1 beer and eat 1 burger an hour and continuously walk as much as you can so that your alcohol level doesn't rise. And I think that's the only way you could consistently take in that alcohol.
Listen, Nick, the beer and the burgers would be no problem. It would be the hiking.
Oh, yeah, the walking sucks. Yeah. No, you're right about that. But it's 24 miles?
24 miles in 24 hours, drinking 24 beers and 24 burgers.
So you've got to basically walk 1 mile an hour.
That's 2 cases of beer. That's a lot of beer.
Yeah, but spread out over 24 hours, the body
Have
could
you
take
ever
it.
drank a case of beer in a day? 1 case?
No. I don't think I've ever drank. I'll tell you the truth. The most beers I ever had at once, 6.
Yeah.
I think that's the most. I can't drink.
I don't drink anymore. I was a lightweight back then, though.
Dude, but my 3rd beer, I'm fighting guys that are 6'1".
Yeah.
Like, I'm out of my mind. Yeah, I'm not a good drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a much better pothead. Like, I'm hugging guys 6'1" when I'm high. You know, I'm not fighting them.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. All right, Matt, that was an awesome.
Yeah.
That's the facts, Matt.
That is the facts, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. All right, Matt, our guest now, you brought to me about a week or 2 ago, and you said, you come to me and you go, hey, dude, you ever heard of, what'd you call it? Water?
Yeah, magnet fishing.
Fishing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, them guys that pull stuff out of rivers with them big magnets.
I watch endless hours of that.
I used to. Yeah. I mean, tons of stuff. But so I was like, hell yeah, I want to talk to that guy. And then you turned me on to him, and you sent me that link last night, and I watched one of them. And it's our guest today, Evan Woodard. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you nailed
Woodard?
it. Right up
Okay,
perfect.
Evan was born.
By the way, it's so much more interesting than just this.
Well, I'm getting ready to say.
Please.
So, Evan, I meet you online. I'm watching you, and I'm thinking, wow, this is so cool. And then I meet you today, and you start within a half hour told me so many things you actually really do that is so much bigger than the fishing, the magnet fishing thing. So I want to start out by saying you are a historian.
Yep, that's correct.
And an explorer.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite guys in the world on TV is a guy named Josh Gates.
Oh, I know him well.
You know Josh?
Good dude.
You know him?
Great dude, yeah.
Let me tell you something, Evan. You got to get him on my show.
I'll see what I can do.
Dude, that guy is a top 5 bucket list interview for me. I'm just letting you know that, Matt.
I don't know him.
Oh, my God. This the guy. I want to give Evan all this time.
Of
but
course.
Anyway, Discovery Expedition or
Expedition Unknown.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of different series now on Discovery Channel.
Dude, he is an archaeologist.
Yeah.
Right? But he really is into the history, and he loves the backstories and everything. And Evan,
It sounds just like Evan to me.
yeah. And so, Evan, let's start off here by saying, what was your first foray into exploring? How did all that come about for you?
Well, for me, I actually grew up just outside of DC in PG County, and behind my parents' house, there was this like old park that was kind of closed off. It was a wildlife reserve. And I remember like sneaking into there all the time as a kid, exploring around, finding all this old stuff, and thought it was fascinating. And then I just kept that up as I got older, going through abandoned buildings, spent time in Chernobyl. I mean, I've You name
went
it.
to
I've been.
Chernobyl?
Oh yeah. When I left, I was actually your height. Now I came back.
I'm booking a flight tomorrow. Oh, that's great. How tall are you?
6'5".
6'5". Can I leave 5'3" pasty white and come back and be a 6'5" beautiful black man?
Probably possible.
I'm booking the flight tomorrow, Evan. So okay, so you went through Chernobyl, man.
Yeah, that was an experience in itself. I mean, like
Real quick about that. So I watched the documentary. A guy that went in kind of did it. Did you feel like? Is it radioactive? Like,
yeah, sort of. So like they did a good job. Surprisingly, the Russians did a really good job back in the 80s when they cleaned it up. But they just moved a lot of dirt around. So the air itself is fine. The ground and the metal that is around you is not fine. So don't touch anything. You're not supposed to kick up dirt, stuff like that. I ended up leaving all my clothes there afterwards.
you just stripped down and walked out. Yeah, that's what I would do. Hell yeah. Was it daunting being in a place that you knew was thriving at one time and then one accident? Is it overwhelming to be in a place like that?
It's super creepy. I mean, I've gone through a lot of abandoned buildings, but this is the one place where you're walking, people just up and left.
Yeah.
And their whole life was just disrupted.
Yeah, they just
And
had to
that's
leave
it.
on Wednesday.
Yeah.
No notice.
Up, you got a bus, and then you were out of there. We saw so many children's toys just laying around.
Wow.
Classrooms still had the lesson on the wall, models, all sorts of just wild stuff was just left behind. And to see nature reclaim everything so fast, it makes you think when this is all over.
That's the part that freaked me out, is when I saw how much the trees and the grass and the wildlife just went, all right, we're fine.
They're fine-ish. I mean, the first day I got there, I saw the sturgeon in the water. And I mean, the thing was the size of a bus. It was huge. It was the biggest fish I've ever seen in my life, besides a shark or something like that.
It was that big.
Huge. Because there's no predators there anymore. No one's fishing it.
Right.
Nothing's happening. It's just growing and thriving.
Man, maybe that's what Earth needs. We just need to nuke the whole thing. Well, maybe that's a good idea what Elon's doing. You'll get to go to Mars, right? We'll nuke Earth, the whole thing. Let it grow back 30, 40 years from now. We'll start sending,
This is your political platform?
Yeah, this is how I'm going to run.
Have you seen this movie called WALL-E? You might like it.
Is that what that's like? I have no idea. I never saw it.
Yeah,
But
that's exactly what it's like.
But no, man, that's amazing, Evan. So, okay, now, like me, you have an affinity for the history of Baltimore.
Yes, I love it.
What is it about Baltimore per se that is, I know what it is for me, but I'm curious for you. What is it that's so interesting about Baltimore to you?
Well, there's not a lot of large urban cities anymore, especially here in America, that you can just walk around and start seeing older homes or businesses that were around during the 1700s and 1800s that are still in use, or if they are abandoned, they're still in a kind of decent shape.
Yeah.
And you can just discover stuff. I mean, they're doing construction all the time around the city, and they'll knock down a wall, and then behind that, there's basically a Baltimore version of a fresco painting. It's some piece of awesome artwork or advertisement that's just been hidden behind this wall for all this time, and it's super.
I've
cool.
seen real faint stuff on buildings like that before, and I've got to encourage our viewers follow Evan on YouTube and also on his Instagram, because just some fascinating videos. I mean, you've done essentially a bunch of mini documentaries on not just Baltimore, but there's a lot of Baltimore and Maryland spaces in there. And how do you do your research or find out about a lot of these places and get permissions? How does that all work for you?
For the research, everything's, thankfully we live in a day and age where everything's online and it's real easy to find stuff. One of my biggest resources is the Enoch Pratt Library downtown.
Yeah.
They've got an amazing resource with their old newspapers. Plus they have the Maryland room down there that you can basically find out about any Maryland business or ship or anything that transpired in this area from, the time we were founded till today. And you can just go there and research it for free. And it's an amazing, amazing resource.
Have you had a chance to go into the Johns Hopkins mansion at Clifton Golf Course?
I have been in there, yeah.
What did you think of that? I grew up there, dude. That's
beautiful.
Wasn't it wild?
And they actually brought me down there to do magnet fishing in their cistern to see if we could find anything.
Really?
Yeah, and it was unfortunately cleaned out, but the place is a treasure trove of history.
It's amazing. Did you go up in the tower and see the harbor?
I didn't do that.
So I don't really think I was supposed to. But, when you're a kid and you live around there, you just end up in places. And from that tower, man, you look straight down. You can see the water.
Wow.
All the way up to the shore. And he built that because he was, he was a tech in shipping. And when he saw his company's flags on the ships, he knew to get on his horse and go down. And it's amazing, man, when you think about that kind of history where we came from, that a guy literally stood on his tower waiting to see a boat Then he got on a horse, and he was one of the richest men in town.
Yeah.
But that still had how he had to do it.
Yeah, and then like you also think about like how Baltimore's really laid out back in the day. I mean, there was just woods everywhere, like Clifton Mansion, Mount Vernon, all that was just basically forest during the 1800s.
Yeah,
and that was like, oh, this is our getaway from the city.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wait, I mean, I could just like walk up there now.
Yeah,
it's
you
totally
walk
different.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like even I redid some houses over near Druid Hill Park, and you know, when you go in some of these homes and you realize, wow, they were built in 1860, 1854, and you're looking at this craftsmanship, and that no power tools, nothing,
and
it's
you're never
staggering.
going to see anything like that again.
Never. There was nothing.
Yeah,
there was nothing.
Yeah.
Trees, they had trees, so they made wood out of that.
Yep.
And then they just had hand saws and things, and like curved woodwork that you're just like, what the. Somebody handcrafted this.
Well, I mean, you look at like stuff today, everything is designed to just have like a shelf life, essentially.
Of course.
There's no real craftsmanship or care or design put in anything.
Yeah.
And anything that is designed that way is like super expensive.
Sure.
So like what they did back then was either they had, you know, this guy built his own house. He was like, well, I'm going to take the time to build it my way. And
Absolutely.
I want it to look that way. And it lasts 100, 200 years easily.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm lucky like if my house will last like 30, 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, I know, right? I know people that buy a house 20 years later, they're replacing the roof.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's the roof. You know,
Yeah.
Where do you think Baltimore lies in its history in the U.S.? I mean, I think it's a fascinating city if you know its history.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, Baltimore was one of the like just the main
It was a top
entrances.
4 city into this
top
country.
2. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're right.
Like because we had Ellis Island and then we had Baltimore.
Right.
And if you just look at like the immigration point of why are there so many Germans? Why were there so many
Yeah.
breweries here in
Yeah.
Baltimore? Because we had the most per capita.
Yep.
You know, in the United States there in the 1800s. It's because the German Lloyd line worked out a deal with the B&O Railroad to basically say, you buy a ticket on our cruise ship, we'll send you anywhere in America, as long as it's on the B&O Railroad line. Well, I mean, if you spend a couple weeks on a ship, you can be like, get here in Baltimore, like, I'm good. I'm just going to stay here.
I'm good.
And that's why we had so many people come from
That's
area
pretty
here.
wild, man.
Yeah.
You know, one of the other things I love about the city is it's gone through so many sort of versions of itself. Early on, Baltimore was looked at early on, sort of before the founding of the country,
It was
really.
Mob Town.
Well, way before that.
Oh, before
that was the
that.
Civil War, but
Well, that was revolutionary, wasn't it? Was that
Mob
revolutionary?
Town, I believe, is more as a Civil War.
Civil
Like,
War.
yeah,
Okay.
because of the
Yeah,
whole breakout.
the President Street mob breakout. That's where that
Yeah,
came from.
okay.
That's what actually I think the first death of the Civil War
Yep, was right there, right on President Street.
Yeah.
And
My
the building
man
is still
Evan
there.
and me. We're gonna team up, dude. It's like that movie. Let's do it. It's like that movie Twins. We'll look hilarious together in videos, man. Another thing I really loved was that in talking to you earlier, you absolutely like the history matters to you.
Yes.
It's not just, oh, look at this cool thing. You treat everything with respect and reverence, and you like that part of it.
Because it's like you look at history class and everything, we all went through this
Sure.
back in high school, and it was kind of boring because all it was just like, here's a date, and that doesn't really tell you anything.
Right.
But like if I tell you like, okay, this water bottle was made from this family and this is where they came from and all this, that's stuff that you understand because you can relate to it.
Totally.
And I think telling those personal stories is way more important than just the actual artifact itself.
Do you have a bucket list of Baltimore that you want to do and haven't yet? Because you've done so much. Is there anything you're missing that you can't get into? Or
that's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, there's actually, the train tunnel that runs underneath that goes towards Camden Yards, underneath all that. I mean, that's one of the oldest train tunnels in America.
Right.
They've definitely rebuilt it multiple times, but I would love to explore that. And I've actually tried to reach out to Amtrak and see if I can
And they
do a
won't let
video
you?
about the crickets,
Tell me,
Evan,
what's like what's the coolest permission to you that you've ever gotten, or maybe the toughest
Permission? I don't know about permission, but the coolest place I've been inside the city.
let's hear that story. I could care less who'd let you. I'm taking my jacket off. Go ahead.
The tunnel that actually leads to Jones Falls Conduit, which runs underneath of President Street.
Yeah.
It's massive, it's beautiful, and it's just like architectural marvel from the late 1800s and early 1900s that you're like, wow, how the hell did we build this back then? I mean,
crazy.
People did this. This was just all they worked, and they built it pretty fast too.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see inside.
Some of that stuff, Matt, like when you see that stuff, like Evan's talking about, you go into a tunnel that's, almost 200 or 175 years old, and you're looking around and you go, they had a shovel in their hands.
Yeah,
And
it's
look at this
incredible,
place,
man.
man.
I mean, just the fact that they built a railroad, I mean, is unbelievable, right?
I mean, that's where it all started, right here in
Yeah,
Baltimore.
yeah.
Baltimore's the city of first. I mean, we've got so many things. The first umbrella sold here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
First trains, Baltimore. You know, we were leading the nation for many, many years,
Yeah.
and then unfortunately we had a downturn. But I really do feel like, you know, this city's on its, like, we're about to have another wave here and start.
I agree with you, Evan. I think there's big things coming for the city. I don't know how or what. But it really is a beautiful city. I mean, that harbor is gorgeous. Anybody that comes here really does like it. They do. And it's called Charm City.
And there's no other real harbor like that around the United States. I mean, we are the furthest inland port in America.
Yeah.
And it's just right there.
Yeah. It just sits here for us. Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
No, when you go, you're a historian, you're an explorer. And when you go into some of these places, I mean, I've watched a lot of your YouTube videos. And I mean, you found cool bottles, you found shark's teeth, you found all this cool stuff. Do you ever go to a place and it's just a bust? And
all the time.
Is there a lot of stuff we don't see that's just a bust for you?
Absolutely. But I mean, you can't just let that get you down. I mean, in this business, it's, you know, 1 out of 20, you're going to have something cool. A lot of times I've dug thousands of holes all over the city. Yeah. And you guys only see like maybe like 300 that are pristine, that are great. Right. Otherwise, it's just like, well, me and the boys just digging holes, drinking beers, having fun time.
What's the coolest thing you think you found for you anyway?
Honestly, the most recent one actually was a medallion from World War I. It was a propaganda medal that was made out of New York City, and I found it on a property down in Southern Maryland. It was a farm, and the thing was like, I mean, it's huge. It's like probably one of the largest coins. I thought it was like legit pirate treasure. I was like, holy shit, this is it. I finally did it.
Wow. You did it.
I got
Way
so
to go.
excited.
Yeah.
And then I cleaned it off. And I'm like, well, that's a German soldier. It's really weird. And so I did the research into it. And this artist actually made these medals to raise money for World War I by selling them. And only a few of them are still around. And the ones that are around are actually like in the Metropolitan Museum of Art and other places.
Wow.
So
I've got one.
You might have a piece of history. And
it's a real piece of history. It's only worth like $900 pristine, probably at its current condition, like $500, but that's nothing to sneeze at.
No,
that's
for
amazing.
digging a hole. I'll make $500.
And that's with like a metal detector. Is that what you use?
Yeah, that was just metal detecting. For privies, like things I found out of privies, like this gold ring actually around my neck, is from a hole in West Baltimore. Now, this when it came out, it was at the bottom of the barrel, and we knew the property was from the 1850s. So we actually kind of was able to trace back who the property owned to or belonged to, and they were a large bookseller here in Baltimore. The family's no longer around, but I mean, just to be able to have that tie to them and know exactly what it is, it's super neat.
Talk to me more about the privies, because I don't think I quite understand that. Because my understanding that is that actually a bathroom, an outhouse for them?
Yeah. So that was like the pit underneath the outhouse. So you had to go to, I mean, we didn't have indoor plumbing until about the 1920s here in Baltimore. So these were everywhere.
This doesn't make you nervous going into old privies?
I mean, you look like dog shit out in the park. It goes away real fast.
Yeah.
So it's the same concept here. Yeah. It goes back to dirt. Now it is still kind of fresh if the hole's wet. Now, like if it's underwater, because it's anaerobic environment, it doesn't break down nearly as fast. It's more of it smells like kerosene. And it's really like slick, like almost like tar like substance. It's really weird. Yeah. But
if you could go dig anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Man.
I know where I would go. I would go to
sites.
Egypt. I think if I was safe and they let me have a metal detector or whatever,
so
all around the pyramids, the Valley of the Kings, all that stuff.
I read somewhere that they've only tapped into like 2% of Egypt,
and they're still finding stuff every day. Yeah. For me, it'd probably definitely be somewhere in the Middle East. Yeah. Honestly, for me, probably like Syria or something like that, where there were a lot of places that were just left undiscovered, but unfortunately were destroyed by terrorists. And now it's like, all right, well, what can we do to find these sites again? I know it's not safe. But
civilizations, right?
Mesopotamia,
right in Iraq, man. That would be insane.
Oh, that'd be real cool.
Could you imagine, like for me, another place? I mean, dude, I would go to Turkey. I mean, it was the gateway to the East and the West, depending on where you were.
The Silk Road ran through there. Yeah. And what's funny is like, so for metal detecting here, it's, we get thrilled when we find something from like the 1700s or 1600s. Yeah. I went to England last year, and my friends just pulling Roman coins like it was nothing. Yeah. And they're just like, oh, that's another one. I was like, another one? Yeah. Give it to me.
That's crazy. Because I watch all those metal detecting videos too, man. And you're right. The European guys find some wild stuff.
We are a baby nation when it comes to the grand scheme of things. I mean, we are brand new.
Now, I got to ask you, because I know you'll know about it, whether or not you're still following it. Oak Island. Are you still in?
It's one of those magical TV shows where it's like all you have to do is literally find a splinter of wood or something,
that just
and it
keeps
just keep going. And
but
it's really cool.
are you still like when it started? Were you excited?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you still think there's something there?
I mean, they're pulling up items from down deep, so there's got to be,
It's
stuff
weird,
doesn't grow
right?
down on the ground like that.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
And you got to ask yourself, why is there a pit that's 200 feet deep or whatever it is, 180, 190, and they're finding things, tools.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, what? And they can't find the chamber, but I'll tell you what, if they do, to me, I think that might be the greatest discovery of man.
Oh, for our
As far
lifetime,
as,
easily.
as a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
You know, the ship, what was that ship we got with the $1 billion, a galleon?
Down off of the coast.
Yeah,
I
what
can't remember
the-
the name of it. But it was like a Spanish galleon.
Spanish galleon.
Yeah. You know what's funny with those people is that they won't, even if it's like international waters, they lost it. They're like, the minute you find it, oh, that's ours.
That's ours.
I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, step off.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily it's Spain. You know what I mean? It's not like they're going to show up on the border.
They surprised. They're really, they're
Very aggressive.
Yeah. They've gone after a lot of people I know
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah.
And it's no joke.
No, not at all. If you say the dumb question, say you're in Florida, Carolinas, and on the beach, something goes on, and you literally find like one of them old treasured pirate chests. What do you do? Like,
Don't tell anyone. You didn't find anything.
right? You almost have to rebury it for
Go
a
see
minute,
me at
don't
the
you?
pawn shop.
Well, no, you
Yeah.
just
Casually,
just
pick up a treasure chest and walk off the beach.
exactly. You call your friends with a truck. Like, hey, I need you to bring up a truck. Put this in there, cover it up. We're not
Getting
talking
rid of
about
a
it.
body. Yeah, yeah. So let's get real quick. I just want to jump into this because it's cool. The magnet fishing.
Yep.
What was the first thing you that you hooked where you're like, all right, I'm doing this a lot? What was the thing?
Honestly, it was the scooters. I mean, like we've pulled up over 400 of them over the course of these 2 years that I've been doing this now, and the group just keeps growing. It's been an amazing time. But yeah, the scooters pulling that stuff out of the water. But then we also get like the laptop that was seized by the government. Like things like that happen. And
A laptop was seized by the government that you found
yeah,
underwater.
yep, it was wrapped in plastic, had bricks on top of it, and was clearly not meant to be found. And pulled it right up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Evan, so you have a group now. I mean, do you need permission to do this?
No. So like Baltimore is one of those great places where we have a lot of public waterfront access. So you
Yeah.
can just kind of go out and do it. One of the big things is that we always make sure we clean up after ourselves. And that
Of course.
it's a fun time for everyone. It's open to anyone to come out.
How do you get to be a part of it? What's the deal
Just
with
show
that?
up every it's every Thursday.
Mick.
I'm in.
Please
dude.
do, yeah,
I'll do the
definitely come out.
podcast from there.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I would
Yeah.
love that. I
I'll
like
do
that
it.
idea.
When is the next one?
Next Thursday. There's one coming up tomorrow, but I'll be in LA for
Yeah,
a
I'll be
beer.
too short. No, next Thursday. Where
Yeah.
is it?
I will find out for you and let you know. But yeah, definitely come out. You can
Dude.
follow along on my Instagram, and that's where I post all the information.
That would be a blast.
That would be
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I
Love
mean,
to
we'll
have you
figure
on
out
there.
how to do it.
And so I mean, equipment. Like what do you use for what would I use for equipment out there?
Oh, it's probably one of the easiest things we have. It's like this really large magnet that you buy. It's a scientific magnet. They're about the size of my fist, the ones that we use.
Yeah.
They have a 3,500 pound strength. So like they'll grab onto something. Now that's an
You
ideal
tie them to a
environment.
rope,
Oh, yeah, you definitely tie it to a rope.
right?
Chuck that bad boy in, and you just drag it back. It's way more entertaining than just like regular fishing.
When you hear, when you click something, do you,
You'll
do you
feel
hear
it.
it and feel it?
You'll feel it right away.
That's got to be like a bite, man.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
hell yeah.
Well, like fishing, do you rarely get something, or do you more often than not find something?
I mean, unfortunately, here in Baltimore, we find a lot of stuff. It's just there's
yeah.
just a lot of people that throw stuff in the water. We've also had a ton of industries here for the last 200 years. So there's stuff in the water all the time.
What else are you pulling out of there? I'm just curious.
A bench. We pulled out a bench a couple of years ago that was from the late 1800s. I actually ended up cleaning it up, restoring it, and everything.
Wow.
And it was a really cool piece.
Wow, dude.
So that was a neat find.
Have you ever been?
shipping
Will they
hooks.
let you do it at Loch Raven?
No, so you can't do it inside bodies of water that are used for drinking.
Okay,
So, yeah,
got
you
it.
can't, 'cause
Okay.
they're very concerned about like introducing
So
other
like,
things.
could I go? I'm just curious. Could you do it like on the gunpowder?
Yeah, you can definitely do it on the
Any
gunpowder.
rivers or your
Any rivers. The best thing is to look for old crossings. So look at old maps and kind of see where people have been crossing a lot for the last 100, 200 years, and then go there.
See?
And
You
then you'll
got
find
to
stuff.
talk to somebody that knows what you're
Yeah,
doing, man.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, you just
We
can't
sh-
go to any old bridge. You're not going to find stuff.
Have you ever just gone down right to Harbor Place, like right there at the amphitheater, and just thrown it in and see?
Oh,
if it-
I've gone all over the harbor, man, just to find stuff. I mean, there's
like
there's
right
stuff
there
everywhere.
where people are walking around.
Yeah, that's where you usually get most scooters. Like if we go down there, we don't find at least 5 or 6 scooters. I mean, it's
Scooters.
insane. Yeah, scooters and bikes, a lot
That's
down there.
incredible. Like the city scooters that.
Yeah, those like
the e-scooters.
like
Yeah.
the Link and whatever they are, Lime and all those people. Yep.
Right.
Now, when you you pull one of them out, what do you do with it?
Well, you just like recycle it now. So I tried to work with the with like the brands owners, but like
Sure.
they don't want to they really don't want them like to pay to have them back. And
Right.
I'm not just going to be like, here you go. Like,
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
we're putting all this time and effort into this. Like, at least make a donation, do something. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that. I was like, all right, cool. Well, then we're just going to throw them away. And
Right.
so we'll
some
take
of that
the
I'm sure
batteries
you can
out.
get some money for because scrapping some of those metals sometimes.
Some of it, yeah, but the problem is like transporting that stuff. It smells bad. I mean, you get it out. I'm not putting it in my truck. And
Right.
Like we just gotta, and they weigh like 50 to 60 pounds each. And so you're pulling out 10 or 15 of them a night.
Matt,
Right.
Here's our business. We go buy a box truck.
Yep.
We don't give a shit what it smells like, and we throw all this crap in there that these lunatics find,
I'll throw out my car, man. I
and
don't
we
care.
take it to junkyards and just scrap it.
Yeah, probably good. I mean, those batteries got to be worth at least $100 a piece.
I'll be there next Thursday. Where do you think in the United States? I mean, obviously New York, Philadelphia, and Boston would be amazing just for the history of it. But are there any like secret spots where there was like, a huge settlement that's no longer there? That
Oh yeah, the Mississippi. The Mississippi has a lot of spaces that were old settlements and forts during like the late 1700s, early 1800s.
Yeah.
And those are just gone now. But the riverbanks are still there. So like you can definitely find.
have you been down to any of them?
No, I haven't. That's definitely like on my bucket list of places to check out in America.
Yeah, that
for
would be
fishing.
wild.
You know what we should do one thing? And this is in the future when this show gets a little bigger. That would be a really cool like Saturday event is to like have
Let's do
Evan, us and 15, 20 listeners
Yeah.
just go out on one of these expeditions and see what
Dude,
we do.
Do you have like a little collection of like really cool stuff that you found out
Oh,
of the
my
harbor?
house is like covered
Like
in
a
stuff.
museum.
Yeah, it's
You
basically
had a
walking-
museum,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
have a museum. Unfortunately, they just lost funding to that.
Oh,
Put everything back in
talk
storage.
about the museum a little bit, will you?
Yeah. So it was located in Fells Point, and it was for the Salvage Ark Foundation, which was a nonprofit that I started. And we had a space, ended up like building a lot of it by hand, myself and some friends, to get it ready. Because when we first walked in, it was just studs and brick. And
Yeah.
like, all right, well, we got to turn this into something.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, just like I said, ran out of funding and money, and then we're like, well, all right, that's it.
And what did you have in there for people to see?
Oh, man, some of the cooler artifacts, different soda bottles and things from the early 1800s, wine bottles. Some of them even had like inscriptions on them with like the names of people.
Wow.
Lots of different jewelry, marbles, toys. One of the cooler artifacts was actually a pistol from the 1860s. It was a Colt Navy revolver that was issued to the Baltimore City Police by the U.S. government, and it was the first ever like edition ever issued to them.
That's incredible. Like,
Yeah.
from what year was that? Would you say?
1861.
1861.
And it had like Baltimore City
That's-
Police like engraved on the bottom, matching
That's in
serial
the
numbers. It was
height of the
beautiful.
Civil War problems,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
it was a beautiful, beautiful piece, and I love that piece so
I mean, I
much.
think 2 years later, Lincoln's assassinated, right? 1863.
65,
65?
yeah, right
Okay.
after the Civil War. Yep.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
So where is everything now?
Stuff's still in my house. We have things in our storage.
Yeah.
All the cases, which were donated by the Walters Art Museum, which
Do you
bless
want
them.
another museum? Is that
Oh,
like a
I would
goal,
love
or-
to. I would love to
Yeah.
find another space to show the stuff off because I want
Yeah.
people to see it. And
Does it have to be in the city?
not necessarily, but that would be
Preferably,
ideal. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I mean, we are showing like Baltimore history. If there's a space that's outside the city that's accessible for people, especially for kids.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing for us, and I
Yeah.
really want to get that going.
That,
sure.
Evan, I'm so glad I got to meet you, man, because like I believe that my generation, I'm older than you, Evan, and Matt a little bit, but like when I went to school, I think history mattered. It was interesting, and I got good grades in history because I liked it.
That was my best class.
Yeah,
Like,
me
history
too,
was my
man.
best class.
Yeah, and religion.
That was
Just
not my
'cause-
best class.
Well, I'll tell you why religion was, because it's history.
Yeah.
You're learning something that brought us to where we are.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. But I always said, like, I think that workshops and things, people of interest, like to just like to go and have you ever done that? Like a presentation?
Oh yeah, I've worked with like different groups in the state to like go out, give presentations and
Yeah.
talk about stuff, and basically doing like a show and tell for
Yeah.
adults. And when I show up, people are like, "What is this?" And then I start talking, they're like, "Holy
this
shit,
is
I'm
cool.
listening."
Yeah. I mean, dude, I would totally, I mean, that's a $20 ticket for me.
Yeah.
The guy that's got all these artifacts about Maryland, knows the history.
Dude,
I'll sit there for
why
90
I'm
minutes.
encouraging people to go look at his YouTube channel. Because
Absolutely.
there are videos there of him fighting bottles, shark's teeth, like all kinds of really cool stuff. And I mean, it's done documentary style. It's really well done.
It. Thank you.
And I think, Mick, we're missing a big thing with Evan here, because Evan's got a movie.
That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So you're digging holes all over the world, and then you just sit down. Did you write this movie? How did this happen?
So this is actually goes back to the museum. So there was a news story that came out. I don't remember what channel it was, but this is about November of 2023.
Yeah.
And there was an actor in town named Vincent DePaul. He saw the story and he's like, "Hey, can I stop by the museum? I want to see it, learn about it." I was like, "Sure." Nothing's really done yet.
Yeah.
But he comes in and we're chatting and he's like, "This is amazing." And then he goes to me, he's like, "Have you ever thought about doing acting?" And I was like, Not really. Like, I like being in front of the camera, like talking and presenting, but never like really thought about acting or anything like that. He goes, "You should do it." So he tells me to write a story for a video reel, like your sizzle reel to send out to people. And I do. And we actually filmed that little scene at Max's Tap House. I hired all the camera crew, all that. He takes it back to Hollywood. He's like, "Would you be okay if I shop this around?" And he does. And next, you know, they wrote a full movie for it. And that premiered at Cannes Film Festival last week.
That is amazing. Yeah. When I called you to be on the show, you were in France.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt, I'd love to do your little talk show, but right now I'm sitting next to Tarantino.
Not far off.
Yeah.
Give us a little synopsis of what the movie is and what it's called and when it's coming out.
Yeah, it's The Ring of Kibo. It's a family adventure film, so sort of like Uncharted meets National Treasure.
Love both of those movies. I'm such a
greatest,
sucker for those movies.
If you side note, if you like those kind of movies, you got to check out Fountain of Youth on Apple. Fountain of Youth. It's John Krasinski's new movie with Guy Ritchie. Amazing.
What's it about?
They're searching for the Fountain of Youth, but
I'm in. Say no
really
more.
good.
Say no more.
That's cool.
Are they in St. Augustine ever? Did they ever go to
Never
St.
go out of
Augustine?
Florida.
Okay, all right. Just checking.
But so my movie's like something along those lines where we go around, we're searching for this mysterious item.
Yeah.
And it's all shot here in Baltimore. We shot it over the course of 2.5 weeks back in January. And then it's now premiered at the Cannes Film Festival.
Wow.
And now it's out for shopping to figure out which distribution.
And you had to get permits, I guess. Did you have to work out permits with the city?
Oh, they took care of that. I showed up on set, read my lines, did my scripting, and that was
what areas of the city? Can you tease that?
Yeah. So we shot at the Bromo Seltzer Clock Tower.
Yeah.
The Engineers Club. Peabody Conservatory, Johns Hopkins. I mean, like we were hitting like a lot of the big spots around the city.
Big spots.
Yeah.
Do you know, and I don't know that, I mean, I know a couple of the names. Who would you say was the most wealthy? Do you know family in the history of Baltimore?
I mean, you have like not parts of the Pattersons. The Pattersons are very well off.
Yeah.
The Carrolls.
Yeah.
They're probably, I would say, honestly, they're probably the richest.
He signed the Declaration of Independence,
right.
if you're wondering.
Yeah.
Do you know all the signers from Maryland?
Not offhand, no, but I know some of them.
Hold on. I got to think. I think it was Carroll, Chase, Stone, Ponca.
I'm going to fact check you, Mick.
Yeah, go ahead. Is it 4 or 5?
I know you got 3 of them so far.
Carroll, Chase, Stone, Ponca or Paca?
I think it's Paca.
Paca? Or Ponca? Paca.
I think it's Paca.
I think you're right. Come on, Matt.
You're
the news guy.
Drum roll.
What are you doing this on a dial-up internet connection? So I think, one of the other things I absolutely love about like what you're doing is that there's never a written finish. You have no idea how any day is going to end.
Exactly.
And I think that's part of the beauty of exploration is that you're searching for something. The search is really the rush.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wake up every day and I'm just like, all right, well, what do I want to like focus on today? What am I going to film? What am I going to shoot or edit or anything like that?
Yeah.
But then like today, for example, I got a phone call from one of my friends. And he goes, "Hey, we're cleaning up my mom's like attic and we have this lithograph print. You mind if I send you a photo?" I was like, "Sure. I'm kind of mill something, but whatever." And he sends it. And I was like, called him right back. I was like, "Hey, where'd you find this at?" Like, it's an original lithograph from 1905 about the different fires around America. And it's a beautiful piece. Now, the cool part was it was also the same print was also featured on Antiques Roadshow back in 2015. So I was just like, holy shit, like, dude, you've got a real piece of history here. And they were like, "How much is it worth?" I told them, they're like, "All right, we're going to sell that."
Yeah, that one. Neat, we found it. Yeah. Are there things if you found them you wouldn't sell, even if they were insanely valuable?
No, yeah, like stuff like that's related to Baltimore. I want to keep here in Baltimore because I don't want it to ever leave here, and I like for the people of our city to be able to see it in person. I think that's important. Now, if it's something from like another area, whatever.
Right? Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah. It's from New York. Yeah, well, they can keep it.
We find the signers.
Yeah. Who'd you say again?
Carol, Chase, Stone.
Yeah. Who else?
How many is it?
I think it's 1, 2, 3. I think it's 4.
It's either Ponco or Paca.
William Paca.
I did it.
Job.
That's good for you, man.
I did it. Hey, I learned that in the 6th grade. For
Did
real.
you really?
I swear to God I did. Yeah, we had Maryland month. And we learned who signed the Declaration of Independence, why all the counties are named after a lot of them, streets and stuff.
Do they still have that in school? I wonder.
No. I mean, my kids, they're in their early 20s, 18. And I'm like, I'll ask them about history. And they're like, what? I'm like, you didn't learn that? No.
If it's not in a TikTok or Instagram reel, they don't care.
It's sad, though, when you really think about it.
That's where you come in, man.
Exactly. I'm trying to educate them, get them to reach out to them. I don't do TikToks. I'm too old for that. But
I would love, dude, how you do this every day?
Yeah, this is
you
all
know
I do.
what we really should do. I mean, you should become a regular guest and bring stuff in.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Like once a month, we
Show
do.
and tell.
Dude,
absolutely. My latest finds for the month. Yeah, we could do that.
done deal. By the way,
hey, let me ask you this.
and we're going to sell that as advertisement and split it with you. And I'm not kidding.
Let's do
Are
it.
you doing a Baltimore movie premiere somewhere?
Yeah, we will be doing one hopefully this fall. So we're doing all of the.
We'll show you where
different
you're going to do that, by the way. And I'm not kidding. You're going to, when you leave the studio door,
Yeah, we got to show you something cool.
You were mentioning that earlier. I was like, I got to see
your
that.
mind's about to be blown. Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely going to do one here in Baltimore probably this fall after we do all of the festival circuits, looking at AFI, Sundance, and South by Southwest. So
now I saw like Dr. What's his name? The Egypt Hawass.
Hawass, yeah.
Do you know Dr. Hawass? He's the head of Egyptology.
Yeah. The guy that you always see like
Right.
on, yep.
Yeah. He's coming to Baltimore.
No, really.
You, my friend, should figure out a way to get 5 minutes with him and explain what you're doing. And it would be a great piece of promotion for you.
If you can let's find some more
Trust
information
me,
on that.
I'm
'cause I
just
will
trying
go.
to get Matt and I tickets to go.
Yeah, he's our bucket list guy, and he's
Yeah.
got this thing where you can go in and it's a meet and greet, and that's the only way we figure we could get an interview.
Is if we're
is
sponsored.
If we storm through the door.
Yeah.
And
We're the press.
yeah.
We're going to audit. That's what we'll do. You know those auditors
Right.
that go to the post office and shit? We'll just go to the convention center. We're here auditing. It's our First Amendment right.
One of the things I know from years of urban exploring is if you look the part, just wear like a safety vest and a ladder, you can get in anywhere.
Right.
No one's going to stop you.
Okay, true story. True story. You guys will both crack up. So the Pope came to Camden Yards.
Oh, I remember that.
So I walk over. I literally was working at Hammerjacks then.
Yeah.
I walk over and I don't have a ticket. And I'm standing by the gate and I'm looking and I'm like, I'm watching these dudes get out of this parking lot and they're just walking into this service door. So I kind of walk down and they're dressed regular and whatever. So I'm like, there's like 12 guys walking. So I just kind of walk over to get right in the middle of them, just keep walking. Guy looks at me, goes, "What's up, man?" I go, "How you doing?" He goes, "Pretty wild today what we're doing, isn't it?" I go, "It's unbelievable, man. We walked in, they all went to the right, I went to the left, got up into the stadium and just saw the Pope."
Wow.
All you got to do is act like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
They will not mess with
Same thing
you.
with a concert, man. You know, if you walk in the back door with a snare drum or some sticks or
Yeah.
something.
Yep. Or a keg.
Yeah.
I'm
Just holding it.
I'm-
Everyone's letting it got the keg out.
Well, I'll tell you the real secret.
Yeah.
Is a walkie-talkie
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and a vest and a walkie-talkie.
And then just yell, "I'm on my way. I'm coming.
This
I'm
is
coming."
literally what you do when you
Yeah.
walk through the door. You go, "Yeah, just walk through. I see her now. All right, I'll see you in a minute." And you just keep walking. "Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. Yep, I'll be right there." And then just go, and you go like this. All you do is look at that guy. Go, "You good?"
Yeah.
And they go, "Yeah, okay, all right, take it easy."
It'll help if you get a laminate. You just flip it over so it's you
Yeah,
just
the
see
other
back
side.
of the
Yep.
laminate,
Yeah.
And
you know?
having
Yeah.
that walkie-talkie and
Yeah.
talking.
Right.
And if you got a real good friend, that some bitch is outside talking back to you.
Yeah, right. There you
Thank you,
go.
buddy.
There you go.
Yeah, I see her now. And you let go, and then all of a sudden you hear, "She should be outside the door." And you go, "Ma'am, you got to get outside the door." Or, "Sir, you have to be outside." "Who's that?" "Don't ask, bro. Just get outside."
We should not be encouraging this, Mick.
What the hell do we care? Evan, listen, man, I think what you're doing is one of the coolest things.
Thank you.
I hope you make $1 billion doing this. You deserve it, man. And the movie, man, that is so
it's
freaking cool,
amazing.
man. And there is a huge, by the way, that National Treasure 3, if it ever gets made,
I would love to be in that.
oh my God.
Me and Nicolas Cage.
Dude. Now, the first National Treasure, that's where
That was when they did like the
neck-
glasses and everything like that.
But that's the Declaration of Independence one, right? And then the other one is Mount Rushmore with the gold. Yeah. The Declaration, all that stuff is just so mind blowing, man. Can you imagine stealing the Declaration of
I mean, I can. It's be great. Pretty sure they'd find me. Like, that tall guy right there. There he is.
Is there anything that you like are really on the lookout for? Do you have a golden thing in Baltimore that's been lost? Or
There's a cannon here in the city that was dropped in the water back probably like 40, 50 years ago. That's never been recovered as far as I know.
do you know where?
Yeah, roughly.
You're not going to share that
No.
on the right. I don't blame you.
What about Fort McHenry? Would they let somebody go in there and dig around?
God, I wish, but no. Like
Yeah,
federal
yeah.
property is like a no-go, and that's
Is
something you don't
any
mess with.
part of the water federal property?
No, so Maryland has a
So
great
by
law.
boat, you could.
You could do it, but they have that. If you've been there, like they have their wall, and then there's like this like shore, like all those rocks and
Yeah.
stuff. So you should, in theory, be able to find stuff because there is a channel.
Well, if you could
that's
you
got
took the
far.
magnets out there, right?
Yeah, but it's real difficult to fish from a boat because you need to be like at a fixed point so that you remember where you're throwing it at. Otherwise, you're just like kind of chucking it all
Random
over the
stuff.
place.
Yeah.
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 But there's definitely like you can do it outside that in the water because by law here in Maryland, the high tide line is public access. It's public water. They can't say anything to you.
Wow.
Yeah. So any piece of property, as long as it's high tide, you can go.
How about
onto
the
it.
Naval Academy?
There's a good dump right behind there. That's actually really, really good.
Look
And
at me
yeah.
coming up with ideas. I mean, Evan's so far ahead of me. I love it.
There's
Hey,
probably
you're
some
thinking-
great spots around Annapolis, right? I mean, so much
Annapolis-
historic.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's
property.
like tons of old properties. I've gone metal detecting down there. Speaking, if you're listening, you have property down there, let me know. I'd love to come out.
Yeah.
And there's really good properties all over the state that are sitting on historic land that are just like waiting to be.
Have you gone in any buildings that have like dirt floors?
Oh
Like-
yeah. Did you know? Here's a fun fact for you. Speaking of that.
Please. I love fun facts.
The largest ever gold deposit or gold stash
I knew-
post. Do you know this one?
No, I knew you were going to say this. Yeah.
The post Civil War was actually found right here in Baltimore off of Go Street.
Yeah.
Back
Really?
during the 50s. Yeah. It was two kids that were playing in a dirt basement at a house and they dug it up and it was a lot of money.
This is what year?
The 50s. Yeah. 50s
No
or 60s. Somewhere.
kidding.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was insane.
Dude, Baltimore, like, see what a lot of people don't know about the history of Baltimore. It was a very torn city as well. There were Northern sympathizers and there were Southern sympathizers. There was anti-slavery. There was pro-slavery. And Baltimore, President Street, when the troops marched through, there was a huge riot.
Yeah.
And that's how we got the name Mobtown. We talked about that
See,
earlier.
I thought Mobtown came from there was no law in this town, and when stuff went down, it was the gangs that took care of it. Isn't that what it was about?
I think that became more like prevalent during the Prohibition time.
Yeah, that
period.
was in the
Like,
late-
that's a little.
Yeah. That was in the early 20s and stuff when that was all happening and the liquor stuff. But I will say the Civil War, this was a very, very, very triggering point
Yeah.
in the Civil War's
Sure.
history, you know?
I
And,
mean,
uh,
we
go
have the
ahead.
largest, the largest Union camp in the nation,
Yeah.
where Carroll Park is right now, and so it's like there's stuff that's just laying.
Have you
buried
gone
there.
through Carroll Park?
You can't. It's like you
Who
can't.
says
even
you can't? The city?
Yeah, the city.
Screw
Not that
that.
they're really enforcing anything, but I
Yeah.
mean, like it's just
By the way, I don't know if you heard this, but there's a man named Ed Hale running for governor.
Mhm.
And I'm going to make him part of his platform that we're allowed to metal detect anywhere that is solid ground in the state of Maryland.
I will jump on that bandwagon
Yeah,
right there.
perfect. Yeah, that's going to be on his platform. Like he's going to go after like lower taxes and metal detecting for all.
Just for Evan, though, and
Yeah,
us.
just for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
you, and Evan. Absolutely. You don't have kids.
No,
Not married.
nope.
Very handsome.
Living the life.
Traveling the world.
Yep.
Do chicks find it cool?
Yeah, most of my followers are actually women, which is interesting because I mean, all I do is like play in the dirt and dig. And I was
Can
like,
you
wow.
tell me anything bad about your life, Evan? Anything? Is
I
there-
hit my head on a lot of doors. So that's really about it.
Now you said, and I don't know if you want to put this on the air, but your dad. What did your dad do? Like, how did you?
Yeah.
What was your background?
Yeah, so I grew up in PG County, but my dad had a law firm up here. He was a defense attorney. He actually worked with Warren Brown. And so
Wow.
as a kid, I used to come up here a lot. And I really fell in love with the city because it was just so gritty.
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
I remember
it's
driving
very
through
gritty.
and it was
Yeah.
just like things were dirty
Yep.
and there was old buildings. I was like, this place is cool.
Yeah.
So when I used to live overseas, when I came back, my mom's like, oh, do you want to move back towards here, stay here, or like DC? And I was like, No, not
Right.
a chance in hell.
Right.
I need to go where it's awesome. And
Yeah.
it just is what it's always felt like home for me. It's really
Yeah,
Baltimore.
I do love it. You know, the city drives me crazy. You know, you too, right? It's nuts, but there's just something about it, man. It's amazing. I love the city.
Yeah, I love
It's
the
great.
history there too, man. It's incredible.
What about Federal Hill? Are you allowed on the hill?
Yeah, you can go up there, but you can't dig there.
You
now,
can't
now,
dig
there
them.
are tunnels that were there, and those are
That
not,
I
those
did
are,
know.
Those are actually verified and everything like that. And they filled them in, I think, during the 70s and 80s.
Why would they have done that?
Because they kept
What do
collapsing.
you mean
Oh, is
tunnels?
that right?
What do you mean? Tell me about the tunnels.
Yeah, so that was a fort on top of Fed Hill.
Yeah.
And there were tunnel systems that ran between everywhere just so soldiers could move. You
Yep.
could like store munitions, things like
Oh,
that.
I see what you're saying.
But they kept collapsing just from
Oh.
erosion and everything. And the city's like, well, we got to fill these in, or otherwise someone's going to get swallowed
Oh,
up by
man.
it.
There's got to be amazing stuff deep down in that
Oh,
hill, though.
man, I would.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
imagine.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's just a fascinating thing, Matt. Like when you do something and you're literally just hoping to find a diamond in a rough.
Yep. I mean, because it's a crapshoot. Every time we're out there digging or fishing or anything like that, we're not guaranteed to find anything. And it also like teaches you just like kind of appreciate stuff. Like
Yeah.
not even think about like, oh, I didn't find anything, go sulk in the corner. I'd rather just be out there having fun with my friends and just maybe find something cool.
Now, are you?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. Are you as into your metal detector as the guy from Oak Island, the British guy?
I
forget his
keep mine
name.
in my truck all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah, just in case. You
You
never
just
know.
jump out and go anywhere.
Yeah, do some door knocking. You might get a permission somewhere. Someone sees you out. I mean, nowadays, like thankfully I do walk around a lot, and people are like, hey, do you want to come and check out my yard? Do you want to dig it up or anything like that? And I'm like, yes.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that reach out to me now to like excavate their yards.
Okay, I have a place for you. Does yours go underwater?
The metal detector, yeah.
Okay, so when I was a kid, where I lived, there was drainage tunnels that went into Herring Run,
Mhm.
and these were tunnels that were like under Hartford Road and Bel Air were water systems, street, and it just dumps. And when I was a kid, every day I could go down there, dig in it, find enough coins for like, a soda and a bag of chips. I could easily get $1 a day,
Wow.
right? You got to come do it. I'm not gonna say where
Let's
it
do
is,
it.
but dude, I got to meet you.
I got
there
an extra
day.
one for you. We can go.
I've always wanted to do it, and I've never done it. And there's a whole trail I want to show you.
Let's do it.
Oh,
We can take the
Matt,
show on the road.
Yeah,
I got a
dude,
metal detector.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Wow.
you didn't know that, did you?
you son of a bitch!
Yeah.
You've been holding out on me this whole time.
Never,
It's like,
never found anything, man.
well, you can't do it in your basement. You got to go outside.
Ah, that's good. Good tip, man. Pro tip.
I mean, if you go to the beach this summer, there's a place in Delaware called Coin Beach.
Yeah.
That's always there's a shipwreck off the coast that has like a bunch of silver coins that wash in like every time
Wow.
after a storm. So you can just
You
go out
gotta
there.
show
and
me
find
that place
stuff.
because I went to the beach and it was nothing. I mean, I barely found junk.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
got to tune that detective of yours, and I'll show you the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
thinking. Yeah, yeah.
All right, Evan, we do a little bit here called Matt's Music Minute, and this is where we just talk about things in the music world.
All right.
And you're welcome to join in.
Sweet.
Let me get to my calendar real quick because I want to tell you Matt's Music Minute is brought to us by Natalie's Seafood Restaurant. And the best part about that, this weekend at Natalie's, Jesus, I can't even see this. I have no idea, Matt. Here, you got
You need some
glasses.
glasses?
Yeah, just read this. It's the ones in the purple.
Wait, the whole thing is purple. What are you talking about, man?
Anything in purple is at Natalie's.
Where?
Go to the right date.
Oh my God, man!
Wait a minute,
What are
I
you
got-
talking about on the 30th, when we're going to be there?
Yeah.
Chesapeake Suns will be there.
Nice.
Let's see here. I don't even know how to use your thing, man. Natalie's delicious seafood.
Hold on.
They always, honestly, they always have great entertainment
Yeah.
over there. I mean, every time we've been there, they've had a solid band on. Great entertainment, but seafood is the name of the game over there. And we're there broadcasting live this Friday, and every Friday we'll be there in their little tiki bar.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, or is that tonight? What's tonight? Wednesday? Yeah. Jamie Bishop there. Thursday, Rich Presbury. Chesapeake Suns on Friday, and the Bo Daddies. Wow, I haven't heard from them in a while. On Saturday at Natalie's Seafood Kitchen in Falston. Incredible food, incredible prices, great people. Zach, Natalie, and Lou taking care of everybody up there. All right, here it is. Matt's Music Minute. What do we got, buddy?
All right, you guys want to hear about some rock stars who almost died on stage? I've got a list here.
Did any of them die with a metal detector? That'd be the
None of them
ultimate
did, man.
suspect. Yeah.
So rock and roll, dangerous business. Apparently, it's killed plenty of people. A few have even died on stage. That's a whole nother list that we'll get to another day. But these are a bunch of rock stars who almost bit it in the middle of a show, and that includes people like Alice Cooper. He's fake died countless times on stage over the years, but his phony guillotine almost sliced his neck for real one time, and he's also almost accidentally hung himself multiple times.
Yeah, see, if part of your money making is that you risk your life, it's hard to feel bad for you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're making money because you have a guillotine and it cuts your head off, it's a guillotine. Like, I don't know what to say to those
why
people.
do you have a real guillotine on stage?
Yeah, I mean, we all know how it works. The blade goes up in, that thing goes past, and we get it. How could it really do it?
Got to get Alice like a good movie prop, you
Yeah,
know?
seriously. I mean, they're not expensive.
Yeah.
And he's also 84 years old, Alice. Like,
Right. He's still alive.
I know it. He's still doing it, and I love him for it.
So Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath, he got bad food poisoning during a 1995 solo tour. He ended up leaning against the amps to play and even started hallucinating.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah,
Man.
then they rushed him to the hospital, and then the whole tour was scrapped.
Over food poisoning?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, with a name like Geezer in the first place, I mean, I don't know how long he expected to stay out.
Right.
Yeah.
James Hetfield, you might remember this during a 1992 co-headlining tour with GNR. He was severely burned by pyrotechnics. He got 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his arm, his hand, and the side of his face. If he'd been a few inches closer to the flame, it probably would have been it. You remember that?
Yeah,
tour?
I do remember that. Yeah.
He played for the rest of the tour in a sling.
Yep.
And his guitar tech played all his guitar parts for him, like sitting on the side of the stage.
Yeah.
And James would just sing with his arm in a sling.
Yeah, I remember that well, man.
Pretty wild.
Crazy.
So Bill Berry from REM, he had an aneurysm rupture during a show in 1995, and he later said it felt like a bowling ball. It hit him on the head. And then he went on to leave the band in 1997.
Well, luckily it was 97. REM hasn't done anything. He didn't miss
I
nothing.
haven't heard anything from them.
Yeah, he's fine. That's a good time for that thing to happen. It would have sucked in 88. You know what I mean? He'd have missed out on so much.
He was here for the golden years.
Yes, he got to do all the cool shit in REM. Yeah.
Keith Richards, who we know this man will never die, but the Reaper gave
I
it
thought
his
you were going
best
to
shot
say.
in
I thought you were going to say
1965.
Keith Richards is actually dead, and he's just been playing for the last 30
No,
years.
well, you never know, man.
Right.
He might be a zombie. I don't know. The Reaper gave him another chance, though, in 1965. Keith got a shock from an underground microphone that knocked him off his feet, and they carried him off stage semi-conscious.
God.
Yeah.
I will tell you one time,
Yeah.
I got shocked on stage, and like it was unbelievably painful. Like I've been electrocuted, but that one was like a lightning bolt.
See, I've been on stage while it's raining, and you get little shocks
Shocks
on
on
your
your
back.
mouth.
Is that what you're talking about?
No. Something was wired wrong, and I grabbed the mic like this, and part of the mic stand, and I went on my ass like 2 feet back. It was like bang.
Wow.
Yeah, and then another time,
your hair stood up.
I can't even believe I'm going to tell this story. Eric Maynard, who was a legendary sound guy in this town and one of the greatest practical jokers of all time, wired my drum stool to a taser. And he hit and I'm playing drums and just jumped out of my seat. Swear to God, it's a true story.
Oh my God.
It's a true story.
That's crazy.
At Hammerjacks.
That's nuts, man.
While I'm playing.
You know, that's stuff we did back in the 80s, man.
Then he also
do now.
He built this confetti cannon
Yeah.
out of a cardboard box and a leaf blower, and you dumped all this paper in the cardboard box, and then the leaf blower was hooked up to it, and you turn it on, it would just blow out all these tiny things of paper, and he would do it at the most ridiculous time, like between bands. Nothing's going on, he just on the upper deck. He just set off the confetti, and people were like, what the hell's going on? It was hilarious.
Tom York from Radiohead during a 1993 performance at MTV's Beach House. Tom jumped into the pool mid-song Then he got out and tried to resume singing, but a stagehand kicked the mic away before he could grab it and electrocute himself.
Yeah, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd have, what band? Radiohead?
Radiohead.
They should have let him grab it.
Oh, come on.
I hate that band. I can't stand that band.
Ace Frehley. Do you know the Ace Frehley story?
Is that what the guitar smoking or it backfired or something?
It's an electrocution story.
Yeah.
During a Kiss show in 1976, Ace grabbed a metal handrail on a flight of stairs, completing an electrical circuit with his guitar. He says he would have died if he wasn't able to let go.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I told you the Bethlehem Steel story when I worked there, right?
I don't think so.
So, I don't know, 18, 19, my dad gets me a job at Bethlehem Steel. And I was in basically what was called the maintenance department. We fixed pumps and we'd go down and do that kind of stuff. And ran all that controlled air in the shipyard and steam. Anyway, it was our job to inspect things.
Yeah.
And I climb up on this thing because it's not working. And I see these bars. And I didn't know enough yet. I reached up. It was a crane line for the motorized overhead cranes in a warehouse.
Yeah.
I grabbed that track and it was on. And it blew. I'm 40 feet in the air on a 4-foot round pipe, straddling it. And it knocked me back like a cartoon. Like, picture this is the pole. I grabbed it. I went, boom. I went back like 3 feet. I thought I was dead. And I yelled. I screamed. And the guy I was working with reached up. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I don't know what just happened. I heard blood boil and my bones rattle. It was like, I can't explain it. And it was crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy. I hate electricity.
I don't think I've ever had that close of a call.
Yeah,
It was bizarre, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they like sent the ambulance down and everything to check on me.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Like my heart was pounding. It was nuts. Yeah.
Two more. Ready? Frank Zappa. He was at a show in London in 1971. A fan, quote, fan, rushed the stage and pushed Zappa into the orchestra pit. He fell 15 feet to a concrete floor.
Oh, my God.
Suffering multiple injuries, including a crushed larynx.
Holy
Wow.
I never heard that.
The attacker, here's a note. The attacker was jealous of Zappa because his girlfriend was a huge fan.
See, guys like,
Guys
I
are
hope you
nuts.
dig that guy up. You know what I mean? I hope you find that guy.
Right.
And he's got a guitar stuck in his ass or something.
And then the last one, Chris Novoselic from Nirvana. You might remember this, too. This one happened live on TV during the 1992 VMAs. He finished Lithium, playing the song Lithium, and he threw his bass up as high in the air as he could. He tried to catch it, but it came down on his head, giving him a deep gash and a concussion.
Yeah.
Remember seeing
And
that?
knocked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knocked him out cold.
Wild.
Yeah.
I remember laughing at that. Yeah. What else are you going to do? I mean, you got to laugh at that, right? If you're not there and it's like.
I mean, I think a lot of people thought it was a joke at first. They thought it really was a joke.
Right.
You
Not
know?
me. I just thought, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. I thought he was an REM.
All right. Enough laughing at people's unfortunate incidents. On
All
stage.
right. Thank you, Matt.
we-
Music Minute. Oh, you got more?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
That's
ending
all right.
it.
No, we got a story about Billy Joel. We talked about him yesterday having to cancel his tour due to health issues. But
Yes.
the good news is Billy Joel is he's not planning to retire despite health challenges, despite being diagnosed with normal pressure hydrocephalus. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. He has no plans to retire and is eager to resume performing as his recovery progresses. So everything canceled through 2026, but we might see him coming up in the future.
Well, I wish Billy Joel luck. I don't know. He's one of the good rock guys I kind of like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't like a misogynist. I don't know. I just liked him. Great songwriter. You know what I mean?
For
like
sure.
I root for Billy Joel.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
So I don't know if you know. Did you know that Gene Simmons was close by for Memorial Day weekend?
I did not.
He was in D.C. Gene was part of the Memorial Day parade in Washington, D.C. He says he was invited to be on a float with 100-year-old World War II veteran Sergeant Urban,
Wow.
who was in one of the units that freed his then 14-year-old mother from the concentration camp in Nazi Germany.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was
pretty
about to
wild,
make a joke. I can't. That's incredible, man. Really? So one of the 100-year-old soldier
Yeah. And it was actually one of the soldiers that
freed
helped
his mom.
That's
in
insane.
Nazi Germany.
What a story that is, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Incredible.
my grandma passed this weekend, or the funeral
Yeah.
was Saturday, and my grandfather was in the second. Served under Patton.
Is that right?
Yeah, like crazy. Never talked about it. Never wanted to talk about it.
Wow.
Really?
Well, a lot of people don't want to talk about their war experiences,
Yeah.
I think. You know?
Yeah. It's wild. Is that it?
That is Matt's Music Minute. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Matt. Evan Woodard, what a pleasure meeting you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
And please, and Matt will reach out, and we're going to have you up once a month. I really
Please.
want to do
I'm in.
that.
Yeah.
I think that is the coolest thing. And I'm going to tell you something else. I'm so inspired by this interview. I'm dead serious. I'm going to look into some like fundraising ways for you to have that museum. Like,
Dude, I'd really appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
sincerely.
I mean, that just to me, like that is like the coolest.
That'd be amazing to have that open again.
It would be so cool.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So Evan, where do people find Evan again, Matt?
Well, I think
Yeah,
you're not doing much on your YouTube channel anymore, I know. So what is the main hub for you?
Yeah, the main hub right now is Instagram.
Yeah.
So Salvage Arc, ARC. And
One
that's
word?
Where, yep, all one word. And that's
Salvage
where you'll find
Arc.
everything.
Yeah.
As in like archaeology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the-
unofficially.
Or the Ark of the Covenant.
There you go.
Which is what he's going to discover.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
that would be the find of the century. Right there.
I got
Like,
news
screw
for you.
Oak Island.
Listen, I'm with you. But if you find the Ark of the Covenant, don't look inside.
I'm
Okay.
well aware.
You
of that.
saw Raiders, you know. Don't look. Evan, thank you so much, man. Real pleasure meeting you, my friend.
Great talking to you guys.
Great talking.
Thanks,
Look forward to doing it more tomorrow on the show. Have we heard back?
Yes. Yeah. We're going to do we got to mention that. We're doing the show early tomorrow.
Tomorrow, let me explain. My youngest son graduates from high school tomorrow.
Congrats, man.
I can't believe it that he got through it. I'm very proud of him, Carlin. So I would like to go to that graduation.
Of course.
So I didn't want to cancel the show, and thank goodness to our guest,
Amber Poole.
Amber Poole, who is
She is known as the Chakra Diva, but
Right.
she's a psychic.
Yes.
I'm sorry, she's not. She's a medical intuitive.
Yes.
Is what she says.
She can
Yeah.
tell you stuff's wrong with you.
Well, yeah, she's going to have readings for us, and then I don't know if it's going to be possible yet to do anything with listeners, but I sent her an
Yeah,
email.
we're going to try.
Find out. Yeah,
But we have to move the show tomorrow. We're going to start at 3:30.
Yeah.
Probably go to about 4:35.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to the graduation. In the meantime, please go to YouTube. It is the @ Mickey Talks Pod. YouTube.com @Mickey Talks Pod.
Please subscribe.
That's all. We're getting there, dude. We're in
Yeah.
the 700s now.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as we get to 1,000, that's where the big bucks
Oh
kick
yeah.
in.
Oh yeah.
Right, Evan? Yeah. That's when we can get a large iced tea instead of a medium. I can't wait, buddy. All right, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. And once again, Evan Woodard, one of my favorite guests so far. Thank you so much, my
Thank
friend.
you so much for having me.
See you guys tomorrow.